Hi there. You're about to enjoy the Chronicles of Tom and Jamie.
Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Mann.
Hey guys, my name's Annabelle Knight.
Hello, this is Becky Baldwin.
Hello, I'm Chesney.
Hey, what's up everyone? This is Braden from Say We Can Fly.
Hey, this is Dustin from Drawn to the Sky. I'm a songwriter, producer, and filmmaker, and you are listening to the Chronicles of Podcast with Tom and Jamie.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the 117th edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. And these right here are the Chronicles of Drawn to the Sky. It is I, the bearded brummy Jamie, and joining me this week, as always, this handsome fella right here.
What, me? Oh, Jamie, you're far too kind. So Scotsman Tom, and welcome to the Chronicles of Podcast. Hit it!
Ladies and gentlemen, this week we are joined by a wonderful singer, songwriter, producer, filmmaker, and one of the very few people who can still rock a tie-dye shirt and actually pull it off. To his friends and family, he's Dustin Gill. To his fans, he's known by another name. Boys and girls, theys and thems, join us as we bring you the Chronicles of Drawn to the Sky.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I think the tie-dye shirts, I think they're coming back. You know, I tried my best.
Back. Yeah.
I think, well, I try my best. But yeah, I've been rocking them for a while now, so.
Yeah, I think they're in like every music video. Every music video I saw, you were definitely
right,
yeah.
Absolutely
Pretty much, yeah. Slaying it. Just keep doing it. You know, you say it's coming back, it's because you're the pioneer. You know what I mean?
Appreciate that.
You're leading the charge. But how are you anyway, my friend? How you doing? How's your morning been so far?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Just went for a nice little hike around the hills here. It's really beautiful. It's nice to get away from the winter in Minnesota. Yeah, it's been amazing. How about you?
Yeah. Oh no, but I don't think anyone asks us. Yeah, good.
Just curious.
No, at all. I've been working all day, so nothing very exciting's been going on my end. Jay?
Yeah, been at work all day. I've got a belly full of Chinese, and I'm here, so it's a good day.
Awesome. It's the best.
But before we talk about what you do now, sir, take us back. We always like to start this by going back to the start, the days of young Master Gill, you can say. What did you want to be when you were growing up in your formative years? Has it always been music and entertainment, or was it, I don't know, a train driver?
To be honest, I think I kind of like bring it back to, so my dad was a construction worker, and so basically he would get his winters off, right? And so I was like, okay, like I get my summers off in school, at least in the US we do. And then he got his winters off. Same with my mom. She worked outside. She worked for like kind of like the DNR, mosquito control. So she would like treat swamps, and she would have the winters off. And then I had the summers off. So I was like, okay, so, it's kind of cool. You suck it up for a few months. You're either working for, 9 months out of the year, but then you get like this nice break in a season. Because that's how it worked in school. That's how it worked for my parents. So now my parents are separated as I'm like a young child. And my stepdad comes into the picture, and I see him going to work every single day. And I'm like, okay, like, when do you get off though? Like, when's your like months to get off work? And he's like, no, I just work every single day. Like, I don't get that. Like, that's not normal. And I was like, are you serious? Like, you just work every single day for the rest of your life, basically? It's just off on the weekends. And I think it was like that moment where I was like, okay, like, I think I have to do something when I grow up that I like enjoy to do, because I just don't want to spend like every single day, doing something I dislike. And I hated school. So, I mean, I was like, if this is like a preview of what's to come, like I better figure something out. So, I mean, yeah, I guess, music was something I always gravitated towards, but at the same time, I was like an athlete in high school, and I thought that might be something I want to pursue as well. I was like a discus and shot put thrower in track, and I was pretty successful at it in high school. But yeah, once college came around, it was kind of like trying to figure out, do I do the music thing, or should I like pursue like fitness? Or I didn't really know exactly what to do, but yeah, ever since I was 11, I played guitar, and something just called to me like when I was in college, and on like my third year of track, I just figured like, like this isn't going to last forever. I'm not going to go to the Olympics. So yeah, I think it's time to like refocus what I want to do with my life. And yeah, I just decided to go for it, and I quit track in college and graduated, and then just flew out to LA, and kind of the rest is history. So yeah.
This might be a really stupid question. How do you get good at like shot put and discus? Like, how do you actually? Because obviously it's throwing a very heavy ball and throwing like a frisbee-ish type item while spinning.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, it comes down to just like it's definitely genetic, because most of the good throwers have a little bit of like height to them. Like I'm 6'2", so that's like that helps. You have really long arms. It's just like biomechanics, you know. But a lot of it is just like the weight room, you know. Like I always had, yeah. It's a little bit of speed, it's a little bit of strength, coordination, all those things kind of combined. But it's kind of like a niche sport, so there's not a lot of people that get introduced to it. I feel, well, at least in the U.S. anyways. So if you're good, I think you can really capitalize on it, because like, you know, most people don't find out about it until like they're already in high school and they haven't had the time to like build up their skill. But a lot of it's like technique too, and just practicing years and years. But yeah, it's fun. I miss it, honestly. It was pretty fun just to chuck that thing as far as I can.
Would you ever go back?
I would like do it. Well, now I've taken up disc golf, so that kind of like scratches the itch. But disc golf is completely different, because a discus is like, I don't even know. I think it was like 3 or 4 pounds in college. But like a disc golf, you're talking like 175 grams. So but yeah, no, I think I would do it for fun maybe, but it's pretty rough on like the shoulders and whatnot. I mean, it's like you're literally in, like, the shot put is a bowling ball weight, so it's 16 pounds just like tucked into your neck. It's pretty rough on the body, but it was enjoyable when it lasted. Yeah.
So you say you were good. Did I read somewhere that you broke a 40-year record in your school with discus?
Yeah, the high school record. Yep. So yeah, that was awesome. Like, it was just one of those like accomplishments. You know, just like, it was kind of one of my dreams, like growing up, because I knew that the record was somewhat within reach when I first started playing. And yeah, it was just one of those goals that I got to accomplish. And I think that's what propelled me to do it in college, because it's like, oh, well, you broke a school record, like you should pursue this after high school. But at the same time, it's like, you know, how far is that going to go? Right. Like, I don't know. But it was fun. It was really fun when it lasted, for sure.
They should make disc golf in the Olympics. That's the frisbee into the net. That's miles away, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's like in a cage with chains. Yeah,
that's
it's so fun.
Looks
you guys
awesome.
Ever play?
No, I've watched videos on Facebook and stuff. I've watched videos online.
Yeah.
That looks like so much fun. But I'm
it's
one of those
so
people,
fun.
I probably wouldn't let go at the right time, so probably like swing off like this way or something.
Right. Yeah. No, I've done that before. I've had it happen. But yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I think I picked it up in the pandemic, and it just like, I think a lot of people did, because like you just go to a park, you know, and do something. And I just love it. Yeah, like I've been obsessed. I'm always posting it on my story, and yeah, it's awesome. So
that's really, I've never even heard of it before, but actually I'm going to go look at it now because it sounds really fun.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's awesome.
But a question I like to ask all musicians we have on the show: where did this love for music come from? Especially the sort of music that you're playing now. Obviously, we all like music, but you need to really love music to decide to want to do it.
Right. Yeah, I think it was probably because my dad just like played a lot of music in the car when I was growing up, like 80s music, the Cars, Tom Petty, Prince, you know, everything from like 70s and 80s, 90s. I don't know. It's just like, maybe it was with him. And because my parents were divorced, whenever I did get time with my dad, like it was really special, because I would see him like, you know, every couple of weeks we would get a weekend together. And I think maybe like associating it with that, because it was like, oh, this is my time with my dad. I'm like really happy I get to see him. And like, he's playing this music in the car, and it like, he's just a big fan of music. And I think maybe that's what like sparked it. But, you know, I'm not sure. It's just one of those things that I always seem to just really love. Like, I was kind of obsessed, and I bought CDs and kind of hoarded music. And then my best friend in school in 3rd grade, he had a brother who was like a virtuoso guitar player. His name's Trevor Weist. Shout out Trevor. He sees this, but yeah, he's just like one of the best guitar players I've ever heard in my life. And I guess like going to his house and seeing him just like shredding like Eruption by Van Halen, at like 17 years old, I think I was like, wow, this is like, you can like do this. This is like insane. Like, I don't know. It's just, I guess it inspired me. And then, yeah, I just got a guitar when I was 11 for Christmas and just kind of stuck with it, I guess.
That's amazing. Was there like a point or a moment where you went, I don't want to do this as a hobby anymore. I want this to be what I do, what I'm known for. Was there a point, or did you sort of escalate over the years?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I always had dreams. Like, I think every little kid, they're like, I'm always like, every time I would listen to music, for some reason, I would like replace myself with the singer on stage in my head, or like the guitar player. And I would see myself performing the music. Like when I was sitting in the car on a road trip or whatever, I was like, well, why do I keep seeing myself do it? And for whatever reason, I think that just like programmed my mind over time. Like, I want to do this, like for whatever reason, I was always shy, like, always been super socially awkward. So the idea of singing in front of people like just absolutely terrified me. So I never really pursued it like seriously, it's just kind of like one of those like dreams. And then, yeah, I think it was when I was in college, I just realized like, like I actually have to decide what I want to do. And, music was always like a dream, but, everyone tells you like, you can't actually make a living doing it. It's like a 1 in a million chance. This is kind of back before like social media and stuff. So there wasn't even really that much of an outlet for independent artists at the time, I don't think, besides like MySpace. But yeah, I think it's just one of those things. I decided like going back to what I was saying earlier, if I'm going to do something every day for the rest of my life, I just wanted something I genuinely enjoy to do. And I just loved music. So I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it. So yeah, I don't know.
No, it's great. I mean, you've got your style is quite like an amalgamation of loads of different genres smashed into one. So I mean, I got some EDM vibes, bit of R&B, bit of pop punk, bit of acoustic, bit of emo, bit of that sort of thing. And it's like, this is me. Where did the influence come? Like, who influenced you when you were growing up? What were you listening to more?
I think the kind of like that hardcore, post-hardcore phase in like the late 2000s, bands like, what can I think of? Like As I Lay Dying, and then like the softer bands like Sleeping with Sirens and Pierce the Veil. And yeah, over time, like I just like a lot of metal music is really what got me into it. And then like Ozzy Osbourne, when I was a little kid, like, Randy Rhoads shredding guitar solos like on Crazy Train or whatever. And it's just like all the things between the 80s music from my dad and then like the metal and emo music I listened to in high school. Cause I always wanted to be in a metal band, but I'm from a town of a few thousand people, like 4,000 people. So there just wasn't enough people to like form a band in high school of music I wanted to play. So it was one of those things where I was like, well, I guess I'll just do stuff on my own, But yeah, I think it's the emo music from high school and then the 80s music from my dad that kind of blend like the guitar solos and that kind of thing. And then kind of just blended into the modern pop and hip hop scene we've all been exposed to in the past, 10, 15 years, which, I was always like a big Eminem fan and stuff. So it just kind of, yeah, I guess I'm just like a product of all that stuff, which it seems like a lot of people, I mean, nowadays you see a lot of people just kind of blending all these like old genres and like mid 2000s. And it's kind of just, I guess that's kind of always how it's been. Right.
It's great though, because like a lot of the bands that you love are influenced by all different genres, and then they're inspiring other people, but all these different genres. It's amazing how all these different genres mix together. Like I was listening to Pretty Little Liars earlier, and I was like, and then just like shredding guitar solo comes out of nowhere, and I was like, did not expect this. Right. This is fantastic. I love that because it's a complete surprise when you listen to music like that.
Yeah. No, I agree. It is kind of crazy how everyone's like influencing the next generation of artists or whatever. And it's like, no one's like truly original, so to speak, because you could make a case like people have probably made bigger leaps than others, but it is kind of wild to think about. Like we started at this, tribal banging around on like drums, made from like animal skins. And then all of a sudden somehow it just transformed into like, hyper pop or like electronic music. It's just kind of wild how it all, every single thing just like kind of domino effects to the next.
It's amazing. But did you take lessons to learn to do what you do, or are you self-taught? Because you do everything for your music, and that you produce it, mix it, literally everything.
Yeah, no, with guitar, I did take lessons as a kid, but a lot of times I used to get these magazines called Guitar World. For anyone who knows, like it was just like it was just a dream to like get that magazine every single month. And there was actually a disc inside. So you'd get like a disc and you could you put it in your computer and basically you would get lessons on this disc. And then you would have there's this little sample at the end, or there's this like little section called Bet You Can't Play This. And it was always like this crazy, like sweep picking, tapping, like insane lick that was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And but the whole catch is like, oh, I bet you can't play this. Like, I bet you can't learn this riff or whatever. And I would always like learn those every single week because I mean, it was just like, it was so cool. I mean, that was kind of the gimmick of it, like, pretending as if like, oh, I bet you can't learn this on your own or whatever. But yeah, like doing those every week, I think helped. And then eventually, yeah, when I was like in 7th grade, I played Eruption by Van Halen at the talent show. And that kind of and I got like a reaction from that. And I was like, wow, like people enjoy this. Like people, I guess like that kind of comes back to like why I started is people really enjoyed the talent show. And when you're like a middle schooler and all the girls are hitting you up afterwards and just like, you're like, whoa, like what happened? Like I was like a loser before and now everyone's just like, focus on this thing. But anyways, yeah. So I think, yeah, just pretty much self-taught for the most part, but like using the internet, and I also got some like audio production training in college actually. So that was really helpful. But yeah, for the most part, just like learning on YouTube. But yeah, I did have a great like mentor in college who actually, he was like signed by a major label back in the day. I think it was with the band Holiday. I'm not sure. I think that was it. And yeah, he's just a great songwriter. His name's Dr. Olson. And yeah, he was an incredible like mentor to me and like teaching me audio production and just audio engineering. So that's kind of like, as far as the side of like making the music happen and like putting it out there, he was like that person for me. But as far as like all like the songwriting and like more of the guitar stuff, that a lot of that was self-taught. So
fair play. That's all. I always get absolutely admired by people who are self-taught. I'm like, if I was to pick a guitar up and go, right, let's play this, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Just put it down and walk away.
Yeah, it's actually really painful to start playing guitar. It like kills your wrists.
Yeah, but where did the name?
Things you gotta get over.
Sorry.
No, I was just saying it's one of those things. Right. Yeah, it's one of those things like when you like a lot of people want to play guitar, but they got to realize like it's going to like physically hurt them for a solid few months. Your fingers are just going to be like suffering, your wrists. But yeah, once you get over that hill though, it's like then everything kind of flows.
Where did the name Drawn to the Sky come from?
Well, I have it tattooed on my forearm here. You can't really see it. It's like on this cross. But anyways, like I have no idea, to be honest. I think it was one of those just like, oh, this sounds cool when I'm in 9th grade. And like I released a little guitar instrumental project in, I think it was 9th grade. And I just like I made CDs and I was handing them out to people in high school. And I just called it Drawn to the Sky. And for whatever reason, I mean, I've always had like a fascination with like space. I lived out in like a really rural area in Minnesota. So our stars were just like unbelievable. You would see everything. Like the Milky Way was like, you get detail in it. Like it was just that incredible. And so I've always been like, very fascinated by the sky and like nebulas and all of those crazy things, like with the Hubble telescope. I remember they had the Hubble telescope books like at Barnes and Noble and stuff. And I was always just like flipping through those. Like I was just obsessed with it. But I think that's part of it. It's like my fascination with that, I guess, kind of like led to the name when I made that funny little project in 9th grade. But then it just kind of stuck. I just kept using it. Just like a one-man band name, I guess. A lot of people were doing that in the 2000s or whatever. So
but it really fits the style of music as well, I think. Do you ever get that? Do you ever find that artist band names always seem to fit the style of music that they are?
Totally, yeah. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. It's like, they see their artist name as like the pinnacle, like that's their foundation of like art, is like what they can come up with as a name. So it kind of like shapes, it's kind of like an identity that they set a little bit in some sense.
Yeah. Did you ever have anything before? Anything else?
No, I was in some bands. I was in some like cover bands in high school. But yeah, that's my only solo project. But yeah.
No, that's fair. And just quickly going back to the whole space thing, would you go if you could into space?
The space? Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe if they had like UFO technology, which they might. We don't know. I'm pretty convinced they do, actually. But I think with the current, like rocketry and stuff, I'm not sure about that. I'm not so sure. I think I'm not like a big adrenaline junkie. And I like, if there was a guaranteed, 100%, chance that it would go perfectly smoothly, yeah, I think I would. I think I would take like the crazy trip up, but yeah, I'm just not a big risk taker in that sense. So
no, that's fair. The weird thing is, you always see takeoffs, you never see landings. So I'm always curious as to how they actually get back.
Right. Yeah, and like those pods that detach and then they just like parachute down. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, you never see them. So I always wonder how is it like horrific until you get back into the atmosphere, then pull the parachute or whatever. Right. And then what if the parachute doesn't come out and they're just hurtling? Like it doesn't. I see what you mean. It doesn't appeal, does it?
No, I mean, and just like space too, I feel like is just such a dead. I mean, I don't know. I guess I haven't experienced it, but yeah, it's just like the idea of it's. Like I said, if we get like a saucer or something that's like anti-gravity, like perfectly protected, like I'll take that up for sure. But I'm not taking a rocket, that's for sure.
But going back to the music, obviously, lyrics wise, then are the lyrics quite personal to you, or do you make them stories, or where does this inspiration come from for them?
Yeah, I think a lot of my lyrics come back from like high school years. That's where I was like dealing with the most like emotional turbulence and stuff. And I definitely like write songs about current day like events and how I'm feeling. But yeah, I would say it's a blend of stories and then a blend of personal experience. And I just kind of leave it up for interpretation of what songs are which, I guess. But it is kind of funny like seeing some people react to the songs and they're like, oh, that's about that one girl or whatever. And I'm just like, you don't even know, like you have no idea. But it's just funny to see people like, back in high school be like, oh, this is that or this is that. But like literally a lot of it is like creating like a narrative that's like just that either I had like a dream about it or just like a lingering emotion that I felt. So yeah, it's kind of all over the place for sure, I'd say.
Okay. Do you have moments where like the most inappropriate moments where you think of titles or you think of lyrics, like in the shower or when you're asleep at 3 a.m. you wake up and go, I need to write that down. Yeah.
I was just talking about that with a friend last night. Like you wake up with a melody in your head and you're so tired and you're like, oh, how am I gonna like record this? So you like go to find your phone, you're literally just sitting there, like you click record and you hum the melody and then you like fall back asleep. And then the next morning it's just like all you hear is just like a muffled Chewbacca nonsense. And you're like, what in the fuck was that? But you like when you wake up, you're like, oh my gosh, like this is the new like Yesterday by the Beatles right here. But it's just not. It's just not. So yeah, it's pretty funny, but I've definitely had those moments. Actually, recently, this is actually kind of embarrassing to share, but recently I had a really crazy idea in my head and I was in like a public restroom and I was like, well, once I go back outside, like it's so loud, you're not going to be able to record it. So I'm like recording, I'm like humming this random thing and like I'm kind of like in this urinal stall still as I'm doing it because it's busy. And it's just like it's the background noise is just hilarious. You can fill in the blanks.
That's phenomenal. I love that. I'd love it. I love if you actually wrote that song and you put those in.
I am planning on recording that one this week. I'm not joking. That specific one, actually.
I'd love just
So,
in the middle of somewhere.
I'm not going to put the name of the song out there. I don't want people to, connect the dots down the road, but we'll see what happens.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Did I read somewhere that at one point you were recording your music in a minivan that you turned into a studio or something?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So when I first lived in LA, I was in a really, really small apartment in Santa Monica. And it was, I mean, the walls were paper thin. So, it's like finding a time to record in that apartment was like very challenging. Plus there was no way of like soundproofing anything. It was like very reverby and like springy in the apartment. And I was like, I just don't know what to do. And then one time I got a sound complaint or a noise complaint at, I think it was around like 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And I was like, I wasn't really singing that loud, I didn't think. And it was just like, well, what am I going to do? Like, I feel like I just don't have the option to record. So because of that, I was like, well, I just started like Googling things like, okay, like makeshift record studios. Like I was thinking maybe I'll like ship in a container and like build a isolated vocal booth. But at the same time, I had like $5 in my bank account. So I was like, well, that's not going to work. So then I was like, well, what else do people do? And this is back in 2018. So I found out that you can record in your vehicle and it's actually a very like soundproofed, space. Like there's like, if you like snap, you're not going to hear a lot of reverb. So it's actually a perfect space to record. But the only thing is like my vehicle didn't have any AC in it. The beating sun of LA is absolutely brutal in a vehicle out in the parking lot. So I would go into my van, close the doors, soundproof everything, get it set up. I would like record for like 5 seconds, or not 5 seconds, like a section, maybe like 30-second section. And then I would open the door and just let the breeze come in because I would just be like ready to pass out because it was so hot in that van. So it was kind of like a hilarious situation, like looking back at it. If anyone would have saw what I was doing, they'd have just been like, I mean, what is it like? It literally, there was people like on the balcony in the other apartments just seeing me like every like 2 minutes, like open the door and just like gasp for air out the side of the door, just like sweating down my face with headphones on. And it's just like, I really want to know what was going through their minds of like what they're witnessing. We'll never know, I guess, but yeah, that was a good time for sure. But eventually, once I moved out of LA, well, actually I met a friend who had a really nice condo in Koreatown, and he actually let me record in his studio. And then in exchange, I like did some mixing and production work for him. So that was really cool. So that ended those days. And actually, one of my most popular songs, She Once Whispered Love in My Ear, that one I recorded in my minivan in like the parking garage of Universal Music, which is like one of the major labels. I just thought there was it's like a metaphor in there. I don't know. It was just like above me is like this major label with like, all this money and like funding an artist. And I'm in like the basement level, like in a minivan tracking a little song. Like it's hilarious.
That is dedication to your craft.
Yeah.
Right.
Massively.
Right. Yeah. It was a fun time. Yeah.
How do you come to structure your songs then? I take it do you find beats first, or is it a riff first? Like how, because obviously it's so eclectic, so different. Like how do you structure them?
Right. Yeah. A lot of times it's just like playing guitar and then I'll just like record that, like play a little riff. I just click voice memo record on my phone, and then I'll be like, okay, I got a melody and I got a guitar riff. And then I'll like start the guitar riff in Logic, and then I'll just build out the song from there. There is a couple times I've used other producers. It's not too often. And that's actually the easiest because you can just find a beat you really enjoy, and then you can just start like writing over that. And that's really nice because it's already kind of built in, and you kind of get this new inspiration because it's from somebody else. And it's actually a little bit more difficult to produce it's definitely more difficult to produce your own stuff because you're trying to have a million you're trying to have like 4 or 5 really good ideas with the beat, all the elements of the beat. That's like, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 good ideas. and then you got to have like a really good melody. But it's nice if someone else like just is like, here's like a great instrumental that's already built out and it's kind of unique and it's inspiring, and then you can kind of build on that. But yeah, a lot of the time it's really just building the instrumental from scratch first and then kind of taking a stab at it from there.
I think, can you get to points where you've got whatever you're building up and stuff, and then go, actually, I don't really quite like that. There's a point where you could like overdo it almost?
Right. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think like, yeah, a lot of it's like stripping things away too, like in the mixing process. I'm like really just going through the track and I'm trying to like take away a lot of stuff that I added, because like the more you add to a mix, it actually kind of like makes it smaller in a weird way in audio, where it's like the less elements you actually have in your mix and in your song. Like if you just have a guitar and maybe 2 guitars and a voice and then maybe like 1 small percussion, that's going to be a much larger sounding like not orchestration, but a much larger sounding song in like the context, like sonically, than if you had like a million different elements, because everything has less and less space as you add more elements in. So yeah, I think it's a lot of times just like stripping things down and simplifying as much as you can. But it's hard to do that too, because you want to have all these fun different things happening at once, depending on what you're trying to make. But yeah.
Do you do like the music first and then write lyrics for the music, or have you got like a book of lyrics and then you'll fit into a song sort of thing?
Yeah, I usually go with the melodies first, because the lyrics for me, it's like, I was talking about this with a friend last night. I think some people, they kind of can just channel like the idea of the song into the all kind of at once, like the lyrics and the melodies kind of come out all at one time. But for me, for whatever reason, I'm like only tapping into like a quarter of the picture, which is like the vocal melodies. So like I can like, I always like just imagine when you're songwriting, you're just kind of like, you're like tapping into like some other space, like either your subconscious, some other weird dimension, like you're bringing something from somewhere that's not here right now, and you're like pulling it into like reality. And I feel like some people can just pull everything at once, like it kind of just like comes rushing in. For me personally, I get like these ideas for like vocal melodies, so I get the melody and the music kind of coming in, but what it's supposed to mean and what the lyrics actually are supposed to say, I feel like that's a really challenging part for me. So I kind of have to like interpret my idea after the fact to put lyrics to it. It's like, what was that idea like trying to convey emotion wise? And then it's really just like filling in the blanks afterwards.
I love it. It's amazing for someone who isn't musical like myself. I'm fucking tone deaf, like, but loves music. It's amazing to find out all the processes that go behind into each and every song that you hear, and how much like passion and thought goes into it. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it is a lot. Like I really respect a lot of musicians for just how much time, because I know how much time it like goes into it. And you know, so I have friends of mine who can make a song in like 3 hours, and I'm just like, you know, hats off to you. Like that's amazing. For me, I mean, actually I know some people could probably even do it less than that, but for me, it's brutal. It's like solid 30-40 hours just to finish a song. So I actually have a songwriting course that I made, and so what I did in the course is I literally started from complete scratch. I was like, this will actually be a good test to like see how long it truly takes me to make a song, because I never really like tracked it. But the course is, I think it was 26 hours of raw video. So that's kind of how long it took. So 26 hours, and that was for Pretty Little Lies. And I mean, most people would probably hear that song and be like, yeah, he probably made that in like, you know, a couple hours in his bedroom or whatever. But no, it was 26 hours of just like brute. I mean, a lot of it I was over explaining like the steps in the course. But yeah, that's how long it takes me. And I'm trying to get that down for sure, because it is brutal to put out like, you know, 12 to 20 songs a year if you're taking like an entire week work just to make one song. So I'm trying to get that down, trying to improve my workflow as much as I can, but it's a lot of nitty gritty details that it's just like I obsess over, and that's probably part of it. So
Yeah, I think that a lot of you can see, you can hear how the love and the passion go into it. I think if people produce songs rapidly, I don't think that this is just personally as a listener, I don't think you'll get the sort of quality that you would expect from it because it's gone bum 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 bum. There you go, cheers, see you later. Whereas if you're taking that time and you're like working on it, you're like, God, it's taken me hours, but I want to make sure it's beautiful, it's sweet, and it's pitch perfect sort of thing. So I think that's actually a good thing in a way.
Yeah, probably. And I think maybe if the artist is like an incredible singer, right? Like they just have the voice of an angel, it's probably possible that they do a few takes. And if they if they channel that emotion properly, they can probably do like a really nice take in not a lot of time. And I think for someone who's like an over perfectionist or is less confident in their like voice and stuff, I think it just takes more repetition. But I do agree with you. Like, I think it's always best to, put quality before quantity in that sense. And yeah, there's definitely artists that I know they like pump out like a couple songs a day, and you can definitely tell, it's like, you can kind of tell like, yeah, like I can see that because you just kind of slapped auto tune on your vocals and then just like had like a cool beat that someone else made. And that's fine. Like if you can make it sound incredible, but yeah, to like do like a full thing self-produced from beginning to end and the vocals and the writing. Yeah, I think it's gonna take a little longer. And sometimes you definitely can get like a just more authentic product out of that, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And you mentioned Pretty Little Lies. Obviously, that's the latest single that came out in August last year. And I was gonna ask about if you had anything new coming out, and then you literally announced, like I think 40 minutes before this, that Twilight's Eternal Lament's coming out on February the 1st.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I just I posted another video about that. Yeah. So that's coming next Thursday. And that's a really fun song because I actually wrote the beat for that, or I made the beat for a different artist when I was in LA back in 2019. So that song's over 5 years. It's almost 5 years old as far as the beat. And it was for an artist named Convolk. He's a Russian American artist, emo rap, kind of, similar, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I just love his stuff. And he just reached out to me one time and I sent him a couple beats that I made for him. And he's like, yeah, these are great. Like, he never ended up using them. So I was like, you know what? Like, I wonder if I can like go back and like use one of those instrumentals that I made. Cause I really liked the one that I sent him that I'm using. So yeah, I just decided when I was making my studio class, I think I was like on hour like 30. It was maybe like I edited for 30 hours straight one of the days for my editing my class down. And it was like 4 a.m. And I was like, I was starting to like almost hallucinate a little bit from sleep depravity. And I was like, I need to take a break. So like I just took a break and I was like, for whatever reason, I just turned on that song, that beat randomly. And I just started kind of like riffing over it. And I think because I was so sleep deprived, my mind was like, maybe tapped into like the dream state a little bit. And I think that's kind of what like led to some of like the melodies and like the emotion coming out of it. So it's kind of a cool song. And I call it Twilight's Eternal Lament. Like I was basically, writing, like I was editing that class and it was like this, I mean, it's metaphorically, it was like just this long, like horrible process. Cause I think the video editing took me, I want to say I spent like 100 hours straight doing the video editing for the course. Cause it was 26 hours of raw footage. So I think it was between 100 and 200 hours of video editing. And I was like, and it was just constant every day, all day long. And I remember like before it was due to studio.com, they were the host company for it. They're like, yeah, we need this class. Like you need to deliver it. And I was like, okay, well, I have like 12 hours of editing to do and it's due in 12 hours. So or whatever it was, I don't remember. All I remember is there was one day where I edited from like noon to 7 p.m. the next day. So it was like whatever hours that is. And that's when I wrote the song in the middle of that session. So I don't know. It's kind of funny, like how it was created, I guess. But yeah, it's just like a random.
With the editing process, if it took you that long, surely there's going to be a point where it won't get sloppy necessarily, where like your concentration's going to obviously dip and go because you've been there for so long that
totally.
Yeah, the quality maybe won't be there when you're Do you know what I mean? Further down the line, because obviously the first year is like, yeah, boom, yeah, perfect, yes, it's great, loving it. And obviously as the day goes on, you start to go like wither.
Right. Yeah, I think the course ended up turning out pretty good. What I was doing was very tedious. It was a very like non-creative process. I was basically taking the audio from my course, automating out different like spikes in volume because I had one of those like lav mics on. There's a lot of moments where I was like hitting stuff, and all of the filters I was using for like, you know, crushing or basically like the noise gates I was trying to use in DaVinci Resolve, the editing software, it just wasn't working properly. So I had to automate all of the volume of like 26 hours of audio. And then I had to put that with the video and splice it all up. So it wasn't like an extremely creative task for that 200 hours. It was just like switching between, you know, screen and camera. And, but I think the course turned out great. And I mean, yeah, Pretty Little Lies was a product of that course. So I just wrote it live on camera. For anyone who does want to check it out, like, you know, you just get like a look basically into my process from like the absolute beginning to the absolute end. So I don't know. I think it's unique. And yeah, it's kind of funny that song grew out of that process too, the Twilight's Eternal Lament. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah, Pretty Little Lies is a tune, by the way. Absolutely. I literally struggled to pick like favorites because I enjoyed everything I heard. So that's right. I'm not going to try and suck your dick too much because you're here, but I'll literally just reel a few off. Okay. Blood Under Starlight, I absolutely loved. Dear Rose, I'm Haunted. She Once Whispered Love in My Ear, which you mentioned earlier. Pretty Little Lies. Dagger Like a Crescent Moon, and Her Shadow in September with Vance is absolutely awesome as well.
Thank you.
So
no, that was an awesome. Appreciate that.
Not at all. I was literally, because I was just going through, I just had your YouTube on while I was writing away, and I was just like, that's fucking great. So I'd be writing more questions, and I'd go back and go, oh, that's great. Yeah, so I went back and then added.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. But would you make an album?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to do it. I think it's one of those things where you almost, I don't know. I feel like I'm waiting until there's like a big purpose to do it. Like right now I am working on another EP. But yeah, it's like today's day and age, you know, making an album, like I think it's important for people who are already listening to your music to make an album, because then you can give them this like collection of songs and they're already like, you know, listening to your music. But at the same time, sometimes you're like, you know, you'll release an album, you know, and a lot of songs will just get like absolutely no traction. And the thing is like, you shouldn't like think about like, you know, streams. It should be just the art. And I think an album is in that space where it's like, you're just focusing on the art, but then there's the other side of you that's like, well, I want all these songs to get like the recognition they deserve and the love they deserve. And I think with like the modern day algorithms and how like Spotify works, attention spans, different things like that, albums are just tougher, right? But I really would love to do it. And I need to. I think once I'm in a space where I feel like I'm at like, I really, really, really am proud of like my craft at the time. And I'm like really ready to, and I find a certain sound or a certain like inspiration to like build a whole album around that, I think I'll do it. But yeah, I'm just kind of waiting for that time. But right now it seems like, yeah, kind of like releasing like shorter EPs and then singles is just kind of my calling so far still. But
I think what you said with attention span stuff is that you're so true. The Spotify generation now is they'll listen to something and go, that was amazing. What's next?
Right.
And you're like, well, that took me weeks, months to make, years even.
Right.
And, you know, they've smashed it in 40 minutes and gone, cool, next.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And like, even this last EP I put out, I think one of my last songs, The Girl Made of Emeralds, because it was on the EP only, and it didn't get released in like the Spotify single algorithm. I mean, it just got absolutely like, just completely like slept on entirely. Not saying like, oh, it should have got a ton of streams, but the stream ratio was so much lower compared to like all my singles that I was like, I can't even imagine like having an album and like having that
Yeah.
happen. And the same with, I think there was 2 songs on the last EP that were released only as part of the EP. And it was tough, it was just tough to see them get like no traction. But like people loved, like I got a lot of good feedback from them, from people who are already listening. So yeah, you're right. It's just like, I think if you like, maybe if you sign like a major label deal and they're willing to kind of promote the album a little bit and like give you some support behind the album, then I think it definitely makes sense to do that. But as an independent artist, you just got to make the decision whether or not you want to kind of take the risk of like putting out all those songs and maybe potentially like no one really finding them. But I don't know. It's hard to say. I go back and forth about it, but yeah.
I love the fact there's more to what you do than just the music. You have an incredible eye for video production. Your music videos, for example, fuck me, they're better than like half the videos that the bigger bands are putting out. And I'm not just saying that you're here; they are stunning to look at. What made you want to start exploring that world as well as the music?
Yeah, I think that came down to, well, I feel like everything kind of comes down to like money and being like, well, can I afford to make like a full-fledged music video and pay somebody? And just not having the resources like earlier on, it came to the point where I was like, well, I gotta do this by myself. And I think I was inspired by other artists that were very like self-reliant and very like they kind of did everything themselves. And I saw that in a few artists that I really looked up to. And I said, you know what, I can do this too. Like maybe I can just buy a cinema camera and look up, endless YouTube videos on cinematography. And maybe I can like actually create like something that looks good. And, the first few videos I did myself were, they're like, I don't even know what you want to call them, but you can just tell that they were just like, okay, it's something, it's some visual thing that you added to your music. But now, like these past couple of years, I've really started to actually just like fall in love with the process of, writing a video and like shooting it and color grading it, editing it, everything. It just kind of came up like, it just arose out of necessity, I guess. So needing to film my own stuff because I couldn't afford to pay people, and then kind of falling in love with it because I never was exposed to filmmaking in the past. And I just like, I have a lot of fun, shooting and color grading those videos. And I guess it kind of just became like a new hobby to follow too. So.
Fair play. And like I said, they are absolutely stunning. So clearly you now know what you're doing very well.
Thank you. Yeah, I have a great cinematographer that helps me out as well. His name's Josh Kloster. And so I actually go back. Yeah, he originally was the first person to help me with like a professional style music video. And I've learned a lot from him too. And he's usually there on set with me to like guide me through my ideas. And I'm like, okay, this is my idea. And he kind of guides me through. So I've learned so much from him too. And that's kind of a big part of it. So, I want to definitely like shout out him because he's a big part of those music videos for sure.
Speaking of video production, we do need to talk about a project you're working on at the moment with our good friend, just to say we can fly, Braden Barry. Before we talk about the project though, how did you meet Braden and end up working with him? Because you've done quite a few things with him down the line. Yeah,
so it was kind of random, I found his music back in I think it was 2014. And I think I was literally Googling like who's playing Warped Tour this year in the States. And I just found him like in the acoustic tent section on the website. And I was like, oh, this guy looks cool. So I like looked up his music and I think I found The Art of Anesthesia, or maybe it was Between the Roses. And I just fell in love and I was like, holy shit, like this guy's fucking insane. And so I followed his music for a number of years. And then, we just connected on social media eventually. I don't remember how it all happened, but one day he was leaving for tour and we just happened to be in the same city and he just hit me up. He's like, hey, you want to hang out like today? I'm like, I have a flight tomorrow morning or whatever. And I was like, sure. So I just met up with him and we played a game of mini golf and I absolutely destroyed him and the rest is history. So I actually don't know. I don't even think we were keeping track, but no, it was just kind of happenstance through over the years, I guess.
Don't be humble. You kicked his ass. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
He actually wanted me to ask a question. So he wanted to know, when did you know that you wanted to be a greasy rubber farmer?
Oh, okay. That's a good one. Well, I don't know if I had a choice. We'll put it that way. No, I'm joking. No, yeah. So yeah, we wrapped up finishing Hedge Mill. That was in October. And yeah, I did play the farmer. So when everyone sees it, just know that I'm in that mask and overalls, and I got a nice hunch to my back. Yeah, that was a greasy shoot for sure. That mask is very hot. So, and we were also rubbing some like stuff on the face too to give it like an oil texture and whatnot. So yeah, he's pretty accurate with that. But it was a lot of fun. I did play a lot of the creatures in this 2 films that we've made so far. I guess you could call them short films, but they're really a part of this anthology that we're working on. So it's pretty funny.
That's what I was going to bring up. I was going to say, obviously, before I was talking about Farlight. Like, this thing looks incredible from the videos that have been put out so far. Yeah, what is Farlight for people who aren't aware?
Really, what it is it's this town, and basically everything. I guess, yeah, just not giving too much away or anything. It's basically just, it's an anthology of multiple stories around this town that just has these crazy things happen, right? Like, you could almost call it, it's kind of similar to like Derry from like It, Stephen King's It. It just, for whatever reason, things happen in this town of Farlight. And yeah, it's a collection of stories that Braden has written. And yeah, I kind of came along with the project when he was filming he was about to film his first story, Old Dog. And I just happened to open for him at a Minnesota show. And I just like told him, I was like, hey, if you want any help with your production, like, I've been doing a lot of like cinematography, video stuff myself the past few years. I'd love to be a part of it just for like the experience, for free. And he was like, yeah, we'll keep in touch. And then, he actually planned on filming it in Canada, I believe. And then we just got to some point where he realized like the financials just made a lot more sense if he did film it in the US. So we just kind of, once he hit me up to hang out that one day and we played mini golf. I think when he was on tour, he just like asked, he was like, hey, do you just want to do Old Dog, just me and you, and we'll figure out like the team and shoot it ourselves? And I was like, absolutely, that'd be incredible. So yeah, it just kind of happened randomly, so to speak, from my perspective, right? But it was really just kind of, I think, him figuring out the logistics. And I guess like he had seen some of my stuff and thought it looked, decent, and was like, yeah, I think we should partner on it. So yeah, and then eventually we just decided like to form a production company, Amber Forest Pictures, and yeah, I've just been kind of talking about future projects. And obviously we still got to finish Farlight. It's a big process in itself, but yeah, it's been going well.
I cannot wait to see it. Like, just the teasers and things like that. It looks phenomenal. Yeah. I cannot wait to see it. You mentioned there you're working like on another project. I saw something called Sparrow and Her Bones. Was that something else you guys are working on?
Oh, that's kind of, yeah, it's kind of like a tentative. That's another script that Braden has written. I think it was his like first feature film he ever wrote. So that's kind of like, yeah, it's sort of like a tentative, like we'll see like if that's the next film we might work on. So that's kind of like a future thing. But yeah, that is Braden's project. So
just going back to Farlight, sorry, I meant to. So you're saying you're involved, you do the monsters, stuff like that. What else are you doing on the movie? Are you just acting in it, or are you doing other things?
Well, I think a lot of it is maybe like preparation stuff. Like me and him talk about kind of the script and how we're going to execute certain shots. I guess, yeah, just kind of because there's so few of us, we're kind of all taking like an executive position of like, like directing, creative, lighting, everything. And my cinematographer, Josh Kloster, he actually has been coming on set to do like the lighting. He basically all of the on set, like, okay, this is your guy's vision. I'm going to help you execute that with these lighting techniques. He sets everything up, genius with all that kind of stuff. And he just makes it look like really, really good. And we all kind of have like an idea of what we want. And he's just sort of the expert on set, right? So that's kind of how we've been doing it. It's just like the three of us for the most part. And yeah, a lot of it when we're on set, a lot of it is me just like doing whatever I can to support Braden and then support Josh. So when I'm physically on set, a lot of it is like I just do whatever what needs to be done, fill in the blanks, right? Braden's, doing a lot of the acting, whether I'm playing like the creatures, whether I'm just helping Josh with lighting. I'm just kind of like doing a little bit of everything, and we kind of all are in that sense. So
it must be amazing to create with friends.
Yeah, it is.
All coming together
incredible.
And collaborate. Yeah, it must be incredible. It must be an amazing feeling.
Yeah, and we really like crunch time with the set too, because we all do other stuff, right? So it's like, okay, how can we film this entire story within like a week? So I mean, it's helpful that we're friendly with each other, and like it's great to be because I feel like it's really tough with people you just met. So like there's that communication gap, and you don't know how to communicate, or like sometimes you might be short with somebody and you feel bad, but you just like have to like get something done, or like someone, and it's like we all have this like chaotic week, but because like we're friends, it just makes it so much easier because we don't like take anything personally. We're just like, nope, we just have to get this done. Like go, and like collaborate. Yeah. And it just helps like the hangouts like at night. But yeah, we've had some pretty late nights with it for sure. Trying to squeeze everything into like a week and a half. It's pretty funny actually. I think we went to 6 a.m. We went from like noon to 6 a.m. multiple days in Hedgemill, which was pretty funny. But I guess that's just the way it goes, like on set, you just got to finish it because there's nothing you can do. You can't extend stuff because you just have set time for the equipment that you rent, and then you have set time for like the location and then people's schedules, and you have to get it done. So it's interesting for sure. It's cool.
With the being locked in your van when you first started out, producing your songs in the van and stuff, he obviously heard of this and went, lovely. So you can wear a really hot boiling mask because you're used to being in really disgustingly hot temperatures.
Right. Yeah. That was kind of like my training for sure. That was boot camp. Yeah. Somehow I just end up in these situations. I think there was one moment, I don't want to give away a scene or anything like that, but I basically was like crouched up into a ball in like a very dark, isolated, like awkward, like I was in a really awkward position, crouched up in a ball with a mask on. I basically could not breathe at all. And I was just like peeping through this little section. It's just like, it was hilarious. I don't know. I was there for like 40 minutes and it was just like, what am I doing with my life? Like, how did I get here? But in all seriousness though, it's kind of funny. But no, I mean, you kind of do whatever you have to do for the shot, and it's fun though. It's just it's like an excuse to do crazy, like uncomfortable things, but it's all for the art. Like, it's like why I edit the class for 200 hours straight, or like you make a song takes 40 hours. And it's just like, it's kind of like the yin and yang of like making art. It's because like you're basically doing crazy stuff, and like it's very difficult, and it's like takes all of your energy and your emotion and your heart and your soul and your mind, and then you're also kind of not really getting paid much for it either, because it's like you have to wait till the art's out there. You have to wait, and then like it's so chaotic and so beautiful at the same time. So yeah, I really enjoyed my time on set, and making this movie has made me realize like I want to be a filmmaker forever as well. Like I want to, in tandem with music, do filmmaking on the side. And I mean, that's why I like coming to a place like, LA, because there's a lot of people that are, either musicians or filmmakers, and you can kind of like mingle with both. And the energy is just like, that's kind of how it is in Los Angeles. And yeah, that's what I've always been drawn to about the city. And I'm really grateful that I honestly met Braden, and that he was able to kind of give me the opportunity to like find someone else who like shared those passions and make something. So
amazing. I love the fact that you're keeping busy, you're following all these passions and what you love, and you can see the passion in it when you're talking about it. But what's the future looking like now for Drawn to the Sky, or just Dustin on your own doing whatever you're doing? Is there a 2024, 25 vision board?
Yeah, I mean, I try to keep my vision board updated at all times. Honestly, I think, funny enough, like I think back in the day, I even had, I did have like filmmaking stuff on my vision board back in like 2016 and stuff like that. I've always been into the whole manifesting, like law of attraction stuff, and it's definitely worked in my life like very well for me. And it's just like, I think this year, it's my plan is just to keep making this film. We really want to finish Farlight this year, and I guess I would love to like start touring. As an artist, I think it's one thing about I always kind of put off, and that's something that I would love to finally dive into is the touring. And just making, growing my music, my brand as much as possible. I'm having fun every day. Like I'm enjoying my life, enjoying what I'm doing. And it's just like kind of improving all of those things that I've already been doing and try to improve my craft and everything. I always like, it's easy to like want to focus on like results, like, oh, I want to make this much more money, or I want this much more streams or whatever. But I think it really comes down to like, how can you improve your craft and your skill to get those things versus like just working harder or getting better at marketing or so I'm just really trying to improve my skills and continue to make art that I enjoy, I guess.
I was going to ask about the tour thing. Well, I was going to say, are you planning to do any tours or festivals or anything like that at all?
I have nothing planned for the year, but I absolutely would love to schedule some stuff. Like I would love to schedule some stuff for the summer if I can. But yeah, we'll kind of see what happens. I definitely think it'd be good for me to actually take that step. I've been putting out music for a number of years and just never really hit the road yet. So I think that would be, it's a big goal of mine for sure. And I could do a lot more to work towards that and make it happen. So I was just trying to balance a million things like at once, because you're like, when you're your own manager and you're doing all your own marketing and you're creating and doing all these things, sometimes you forget what's going on and you're like, oh, I actually have to play shows too, which is like the foundation of making music is basically performing for people. And I would like to do a lot more of that. So I think that's definitely something I plan on, booking for the summer of 2024.
Nice.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Before we start wrapping this up, one last thing for myself. If there's people listening to this and you know what, I like the sound of this guy, I like the cut of his jib, I'm going to go check out his music and what he's up to. What's like one or two songs in your back catalog that stand out to you that you'd recommend people to go check out to get a real feel for what you do?
Yeah, I don't know. I really like this last EP I put out, Dragonborn Chronicles. Like I just really love the music I made. I felt like it was my best stuff. So yeah, like songs like Dopamine Death Dream, Vengeance is one of those songs where I was really proud of it with like the vocal melodies and like how it all came out. And it's just an important song to me. And then, probably like Star Eater. So basically those songs from that EP, I would suggest to people to check out. Cause I feel like some of it was definitely like kind of hidden and slept on a little bit, which is fine. But yeah, it's just, I was really proud of that work. I think that EP. So.
Amazing. Mr. Stevens, do you have any more questions for our wonderful guest?
I do. I have one more. When you first started out getting your guitar at 11, and listening, spending weekends with your dad and stuff, did you ever think that this is where your life would have got to today, being in LA, making the music that you've done, working on Farlight with Braden, that sort of thing? Did you ever think this would ever have happened?
I in some sense, like I feel like when you're a kid, or at least when I was a kid, I kind of like knew that for sure I was going to be doing something like this, and not in a way of this like ego or arrogance about it. Like, oh, I'm definitely going to be doing that. It's more just like, I don't know. It's like a weird thing where you can kind of see your future, or it's like when you're trying to achieve something or like a goal, there's a difference between like, okay, I really want to do this, and then kind of just like understanding that it's going to happen. And I think it was kind of, it always has been something I kind of knew I was always going to do. Like I always knew I was going to do music, and I was going to pursue this and kind of do whatever it takes to make it happen, I guess, because that's a big part of it. It's just, like I kind of knew that I would sacrifice other things to make this work. And that's what a lot of stuff is like following your dreams is like, it's really a lot of sacrifice. It's not about just like doing stuff. It's like, what are you willing to sacrifice and take away from your life? And I guess I kind of knew I was always willing to do those things. And I'm just really happy that like I was right, I guess, like as a kid, like I knew I was going to pursue this. Obviously I would love to like, grow a lot more as an artist and, become more successful in all those things. But at the same time, like I'm pretty happy with what I have accomplished now. And I think it's just about like appreciating that and like being grateful. Like, hey, I said I was going to do this when I was, a little kid or whatever. And now I'm actually living up to it. And I guess, so yeah, it's kind of cool to look back on those days, just sitting in my dad's car, like, visualizing myself doing the things that I'm doing now. It's like, it's kind of nice. So.
I love it.
Absolutely awesome. Yeah. Dustin, thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to us. It means the absolute world. Before we let you go, though, any plugs, social medias, anything you want people to go check out?
No, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And I enjoy talking to you guys. I guess just, check out my music everywhere. And for anyone who is interested in taking a stab at the songwriting course, or if you're interested in music production, I do have a course out on studio.com. You can just find it at trontothesky.com. I have a link for it. Keep an eye out for Farlight and any film projects as well. So appreciate it.
Dustin, man, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time and sit to chat to us. I know you're a very busy boy, so we do appreciate it massively. It was great. It was absolutely great.
Thank you so much.
This is dropping tomorrow.
Okay, sweet.
So if there's any artwork, any photo, anything you're using for the artwork, just send it straight over to me and I'll drop it to Jamie and we'll get it made. But yeah, it'll be 6 p.m. UK, so that's 10 a.m. for you. But you'll get all the relevant tags and all that sort of thing anyway. So
sweet. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll definitely be sharing it. And yeah, I'll send you some stuff for art.
Amazing. Appreciate it. Dustin, thank you, man. Have an absolutely amazing day. And hopefully we'll catch up soon.
You as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, fella. Take care.
See you guys.
Bye-bye. I'm going to fucking blow your mind to begin this show this week.
Oh, what a hello to you too, sir. I like it.
Did you know flamingos have Sith eyes?
Sorry, have what eyes?
You know how much you love flamingos and how much you love Star Wars?
Yes.
Well, apparently, according to this photo right here, flamingos have Sith eyes. Flamingos are actually part of the dark side. Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised they weren't a villain. Surprised they weren't a villain.
And me. That makes Star Wars so much different.
It would be hilarious. I think it would be fucking hilarious if, like, you don't see the villain at all, for, like, the whole movie until the very end. It just, like, pops its pink little head down and, like, but doesn't say anything.
It's one leg's up, it drops the other one down, and it's a lightsaber. No.
Oh, that'd be sick. Yeah, its legs are lightsabers, yeah.
Fucking wicked.
One stands still. Can you stand on a lightsaber? Just stand on it? It's light, so I doubt it. It's going straight to the floor, wouldn't it? Okay, so, as you say, the one leg with it's up is the lightsaber itself.
That'd be amazing.
It wouldn't. It'd be awful. But still.
No, it'd be amazing.
It really wouldn't. Or the stormtroopers secretly are all flamingos.
Yes, they take the helmet off and it's just this pink head. God, the instant. It's so easy to upset a Star Wars fan, so this would just be incredible. They'd all go mental.
It'd be great. I just love the idea of episode 10 or whatever the fuck, or some spin-off. Again, like I said, you don't see the villain throughout the whole thing, but you hear the tap of one foot or something, I don't know. And like noises and all that sort of stuff. And then right at the end, the helmet comes off, but you don't see the head. It's just the helmet. You just see the helmet, and the helmet comes down in front of the screen, and it's obviously off at the neck. And it just like looks down. Like
no camera pan, it just
whoa, hang on. I'm selling the dream here. I'm selling the dream. Don't cut me off. Helmet comes down, head comes down, looks, and it makes that noise where it goes, you know, like really dramatic, like, and it goes to black, and that's it. And that's the end of the film. And I was like, what the fuck is that? It meant the end of Return of the Jedi very differently, wouldn't it?
Well, it absolutely would.
I don't know. Your father. You're a flamingo. What the fuck? Am I half flamingo? I wonder why I love hopping around so much as standing on one leg for no fucking reason. In water, weirdly. I walk on two legs on land. When I'm in water, it's just one foot. I find it's way more comfortable that way. And I love having my arms tucked in like wings.
Because why not?
Yeah.
Oh, I really want to see that now.
So George Lucas or Zack Snyder, or whoever the fuck wants to make the next one, there's your villain for you.
Sorted, Darth Flamingo.
Yeah. Call it Darth Flamingo. Don't call it Darth Flamingo or something. So it doesn't get the F and L out, and it makes it Darth Flamingo.
I like that actually. Yeah.
It sounds great. Or Darth
you don't want to give it all
Flamingo.
away straight away. So yeah.
Exactly. You don't want to spoil it.
Gotta keep the Star Wars fans on the edge of their seat.
Or Flamingo. No, that's awful. Awful. I'll see myself out. Cheers, guys. See you later. Thanks. It's been 117 episodes, you know, and edition. Sorry. Anyway, Jamie, I know I always ridicule you. Ridicule even. Don't know what ridicule is. I know I ridicule you, but always wants to talk about shit. But I've got a story. Well, not necessarily a story. I've got a question that I want to ask, and it's in relation to poo. All right?
Okay.
And it's not why is it brown. I don't give a shit about the actual substance itself. Why, when you go to a public toilet, do people feel it's okay to have a massive shit and leave skid marks all over the bowl and go, do you know what? I'll let someone else sort that out.
Oh, do not get me started on this. I
was in Starbucks earlier doing some work with a couple of people from work down in Melksham, as you do, by Bath.
That is.
By Bath and Trowbridge and all that sort of crap. And Keynsham and that sort of shit. And I was like, oh, just fancy. I need to use the gentleman's. I won't be long. Went in, opened the door, closed the door, lock. I went, oh, wonderful. Lift the lid. Oh, awesome. Thank you, whoever left this for me. What a present. I was absolutely disappointed at Christmas time when I didn't get skid marks on my toilet. So I thank you so much for this. Actually, I'm feeling a little peckish while I'm here. I don't get it. Clean up after yourself.
Absolutely.
You filthy bastards.
Being the dad of a small daughter, it is the bane of my fucking existence when I have to take her into a public toilet and I have to clean someone else's piss off the seat just so she can sit down. Whoever is doing this, you dirty bastard, pack it in.
Just sit down. Just sit down. Easier, cleaner.
If you can't control your own urine stream, sit down or be a normal person and clean up after yourself. Dirty bastards.
Mind you, I bet somebody saw that and just went, yeah, I ain't cleaning that up. I ain't cleaning that up.
Wouldn't surprise me.
It's probably another child.
Surprise me.
I'm learning, Daddy, I'm learning.
If that's the case, teach your kid to lift the fucking seat up.
Like a firefighter lost control of his hose. Oh, fucking hell, what's that? I don't like golden showers, I told you. Oh, sorry, love. So.
Yeah. Oh, makes me
continuing on with Starbucks stories. I was waiting for my coffee and I didn't realize I was leaning on the sugar tray, you know, the weird little thing that sits in the middle of all the sugars and the cinnamons and the dustings and all that sort of crap on it. And I was just leaning against it, like looking forward to my coffee. Oh, yes, quite. And a woman was like, I'm sorry, love, can I just get to the sugar? I was like, oh, sorry, of course you can, absolutely. So I was like, if I do get in the way in the future, though, just push me. I'll understand, it's fine. And she laughed, and then her mother walked up, so obviously an older lady, and she went, all right, Mum, just want to give him a shove. He's asking for it. And I was like, yeah, if you feel like it, I understand it. It's the longest month of the year. We are in January 4,506, so I do understand. I was like, we're almost there, almost at the end of the month. So we just chatted. She was like, oh, I can't wait for for barbecue weather and for sitting in the garden and getting to go on holiday. Lovely sunny places. And I was like, yeah, me too. I was like, I'm looking forward to the longer nights, the sun sets later and that sort of thing. You get that dusky feeling at 9 p.m., which is great. My coffee arrived halfway through our conversation, and she was just like, yeah, I'm looking forward to, oh, that's a big one. Like, sorry, are you talking to me? The coffee, yes, the coffee, yes. I thought I hadn't zipped myself back up. I had to come in from the gentleman's. I'm so sorry about that.
Just coming from the you wouldn't believe the shit someone left behind in there. I tell you, love, it's disgusting.
Was it you? Did you leave Skinners on the toilet for me? I thank you so much. I've always wanted them. Anyway, I'm going to end. I'm giving you fucking 4 items here. Jesus, are you all right?
Spoiling me this week.
Because it's time for story time with Tom. I was chatting away to my mother. Me and my mum were having a conversation a couple of days ago, and we're just having a nice little chat. I think I was talking about the show, actually, and we're just like, she's like, I'm so proud of you, like how things are going. Then all of a sudden, she burst into laughter, right? And I was like, did I say something funny? Like, I mean, I'm not laughing. And I mean, she was full on howling, going for it. And I was like, Mum, are you okay? Has Mr. Tickle arrived? Like, what's going on here? Anyway, she's like, love, you never guess what. I was like, what? She goes, my Tesco top 3s come through. And I was like, what? Like Spotify Unwrapped. They're now doing, Tesco are now doing your most bought items of 2023.
Fuck me.
Right? Anyway, so as you shall see on the screen, number 1 were Tesco wet wipes. Okay? Her most bought item of the year were shit wipes. Okay? What makes this funnier, though, is number 2 was the TV mag. And I just turned around and I went, Mum, I don't know what I'm going to tell you this, but that sounds like a really shit wank. You said that to your mum. What's going on in Coronation Street? Oh my God, someone's dying. Holy fucking hell. They're doing a car crash story again, Mildred. Oh, fucking hell. Pass me wet wipes. Pass me fucking wet wipes. I'm going to the bog. Give me a fucking TV guard. I promise I won't stick papers together this time. Pages won't be stuck together, I promise you. You'll be able to see what's going on Monday this week. I promise you that.
I imagine part of me is just wondering in shock that people still buy the TV guide.
Oh, Mum loves it. She bought it every week, bar 6 weeks. And I was like, okay, so what 6 weeks? Were you on holiday? She goes, yes, 2 of them. I was like, well, that's 2 accounted for. I was like, Christmas is also a 2-weeker. So that's 1 week accounted for there. I was like, so you've obviously missed 3. She's like, I can't work it out, love. I don't know where I was. What's going on? What's that TV mag? I was like, you do realise that Sky TV that you own has a guide on the screen? She's like, yeah, but I don't want to flick through to fucking Friday on Monday, do I? I want to just have a look what's on. It's right in front of me. I don't have to be like fucking scrolling through 24 hour. I just go, oh, there we go. What's at 9 o'clock? Oh, perfect. I love watch that. I love that. Love Silent Witness, me. I played to her, right? She's great. She laughed at what I said and then very quickly moved on.
Yeah, don't blame her. Don't blame her at all. I love the fact the third thing's tortilla wraps. Like,
yeah, and then tortilla wraps. Yeah, we love our Mexican food in this family, so
that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
But that was a very funny conversation. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I actually wanted to ask you a very important and mind-scratching and thoughtful question this week.
Oh fucking hell! It's not gonna be then.
Rude. I mean, you're absolutely fucking right, but rude.
The way you delivered it, I was like, it can't be.
If you were to arm wrestle a spider, would you have to win 8 separate times or just once?
Oh, this is in the journal, you bastard. You motherfucker. First and first, right? If you're going to arm wrestle a spider, I'm about to shut this down straight away. Spiders don't have arms. They have legs.
That's a good point. It's a leg wrestle.
Null and void, I'm afraid. Null and void.
Oh, man.
Spiders in the UFC, they'd be fucked, wouldn't you? Spiders in the UFC putting all the leg locks on. You're like, well, hang on. He's got air to them down there. What do I do? Or Dana, how the fuck you say your name? I don't know.
Oh
But
man,
yeah,
I put a lot of thought into this, and you've just made a good point that it's all
spiders do
legs.
not have arms. Yeah, sorry.
God damn it!
The
Damn
family
it!
fortunes cross has just come in.
Damn it!
That's what they said.
I've ruined a journey entry for no fucking reason. You shot me down.
Yeah, sorry, dude. Sorry. I read that and was like, I'll put that in the journal. And then thinking about it, I've gone, actually, I'm fucking pleased I didn't read that out now because I'll make look like a right twat.
Or you put it in the journal so I could think about it for you to turn around and go, no, because I don't have arms. Fuck you.
Yeah, sorry, everyone. Sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I hate to crush dreams. But I'd love to see a spider in the UFC.
You can say that. I really want to.
Somebody will fucking stomp around as much as they can, or they'll just run.
Conor McGregor versus a spider. That'd just be fantastic.
I read a story about somebody in America who's got like tarantulas galore, like I think in the thousands. And I was like, why? Why do you want what? Like, why? The spiders are great. They don't bother me. Big ones bother me. Small ones don't bother me. But like, why would you want to inhabit? Not just like a couple, but I mean in the thousands. That's just asking. You're calling for death.
Oh yeah, you absolutely are. Because if that escapes and you're asleep, you're going to wake up in a fucking web, no doubt.
If they escape, if that escapes, one eye, yeah,
it's a good point actually. Yeah,
be fine. If one escapes, you're like, oh, hello Ben, how are you? Oh, you're having a good time. Lovely stuff there. We're good to see you. It's like eight-legged freaks.
Got about that film.
Yeah. No, in that case, then hell no. Thank you.
That, he's going to go into his room with his. How many did he say? Sorry, 1,000.
I think it's over 1,000. Yeah,
he's going to go into his room and just see 500 separate arm wrestling matches.
There's no arms.
Leg wrestling matches, fine, whatever.
How are you, Jamie? Livid, I imagine.
I am now. I'm good. I'm fucking knackered, but other than that, yeah, I'm good.
Oh,
I got a belly full of carvery, so I'm a happy boy in that sense.
Oh, you motherfucker! I can't remember the last time I had a carvery. But it goes back to that conversation we had when we talked about carveries, where it's like, how much do you pile the plate, and then how much do you regret piling the plate? Because you go and you go, I'm going to fucking destroy this, and halfway through go, right, tell you what, I'll eat the stuff in. I'll the stuff in. I'll leave the rest.
Actually, I wasn't as bad as I normally am. I've actually learned to almost get the perfect portion. Still a little bit too much, but I'm getting there. But it's weird because I've never gone back up for more. Never in my life history of ever going to carveries, but Olivia wanted more, and I was like, oh, I don't know what the protocol is for this. Do you have to queue with everyone else and just go, don't need any meat? Or do you cut in line? I was like, what do we do? What do we do
What
here?
do you do?
I just sort of queued to the point where people turn off, because it's normally like the fucking line ride.
Yeah. It's like a Wetherspoon's toilet.
Yeah.
Trying to get to one.
Sort of got to that point where it's by the veg, and I was just like, let's sneak in. Come on, kid, let's get in the veg.
Phenomenal. Stop him! He queue jumped!
I was half expecting someone to say, excuse me, I want you to get those potatoes or something, but no, I was all right. No one said anything. We were safe.
I suppose it's Birmingham, mate. No one's said anything to anybody, so you're all good.
That's a good point. Yeah. Good. Don't talk to me. No. What about you, my friend?
Be there for 5 hours, asking how you are.
What
are you doing?
What is so Herbert the pervert?
I feel like I don't know. Do I? I can't do the whistle, but
that's unsettling.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. The fight with the other German guy, the old guy, is one of the funniest things. Anyway, never mind. What was the? I've completely forgot where we are.
I just asked how you were.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Just getting on with it, I suppose. Not sleeping very well. What's new? And I'm just fully expecting the NFL to be Eminem versus Taylor Swift, the Super Bowl.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Because the Chiefs are in the championship game, as are the Detroit Lions. I mean, the Detroit Lions is they've not been to this game since this level since 1957. So they've not been to the championship game in that long. So it's kind of cool. But they're playing San Francisco, who are probably the greatest team in the league. It's difficult because I don't like the Chiefs, I don't like the Ravens. So, but it's set. I think it's set up. British fans do my head in because they're like, oh, it's so fixed. Look how fixed it's going to be Eminem versus Taylor Swift at the halftime, in the Super Bowl. And it's like, and then people are like, oh, they should just get rid of Usher and have Taylor and Eminem do like a rap battle, sing-off battle thing for the halftime show. And I'm like, fucking hell. But what was really, I think I mentioned this last week, Eminem once again did Lose Yourself in the whole crowd.
Amazing.
Yeah. And the stadium got as loud as a jet engine. That's the loudest it got. Yeah, which is insane. The games were awesome. Like, I really enjoyed them. But yeah, I did Lose Yourself again. He's in the crowd, just got everyone rapping. And it was fucking sick. That's so cool.
You couldn't get away with shit like that over here with our football games.
No. And Travis Kelce, who's dating Taylor Swift, his brother has just retired. He played for Philadelphia. He when Travis scored a touchdown, went shirtless, neck to beer. It's just shirtless. In Buffalo, it's like minus God knows what. Shirtless, neck to beer, smashed the cup against his head and jumped into the crowd, started chanting with all the Buffalo fans. But then it got like really rowdy. And they're like, Jason, you might want to come back in.
Right.
And his mum was there going, oh, for fuck's sake.
His mum was like, taking her shirt off.
They call him Mama Kelsey. It's nuts. I love the NFL, don't get me wrong, but I'm getting really sick of British fans being like calling conspiracy theories on all the refs all the time. They just want the Chiefs to win. They want Patrick Mahomes to win again. I'm like, oh, go away. Go away. So, yeah. That, mate. I'm fine. I'm all right. Looking forward to some interviews this week. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, it should be good. One you've already heard. But yeah, two very special guests this week is going to be great. So yeah, what's been going on, man? What have you been doing yourself?
Not a fat lot, really, because like last week, I've had one day off in between our recordings, so I've mostly been reannering. On my day off, I went to go see the kids. Did a bit more of Lena's room, slowly but surely. We're getting there. What else have I been doing? Mostly watching things, to be fair. I've still been cracking through Smallville. We watched the latest Marvel series, Echo. Me and the wife did. Very good. Really enjoyed it.
Of course, it is.
It is. It's very different to the other stuff, though, because the other, obviously, you expect Marvel stuff. It's all like fighty, but it's very story based. There is some fighting in it, of course, it fucking is, but it's very story based. It's really good, though. I really enjoyed it. And we finally finished watching Bones. We started watching Bones when we got Disney Plus, if not before. And we're sort of like, if we can't be asked to watch anything, or just a background show, and it's 12 series long, and we literally finished it yesterday, and now we don't know what to do. So it's like, what are we going to watch now? What could be our program now?
Doesn't Becky dribble over the main character, the actor, the guy? His name escapes me. That's
David
why you're watching.
Boreanaz, yeah.
That's that. Yeah.
That is probably why she wanted to watch it in the first place. But it's a very good show.
So now you got to find something with a female lead that you enjoy. Only fair, in my opinion. Only fair.
No, I agree. No, we were on about starting Grey's Anatomy, so we might possibly start that. Don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. She wanted to watch it. So.
Of course she did. Her decision. What a shock. I wish you all the best. Godspeed. It's been a pleasure doing the show with you.
Is it that bad?
It's 20 seasons long.
Yeah, I know. It's a fucking jaunt, isn't it? So in about 10 years' time, we'll be like, we finally finished Grey's Anatomy.
But I don't have my own teeth anymore. But still, we made it through. Your daughter will be nearly an adult by that point.
Probably. Yeah, it's a long fucking jaunt. So it better be good if we're going to fucking say we're going to watch it.
It'd be like that Titanic meme. It's been 84 years. Jamie, didn't you die like 30 years ago? Yes, we're still going. We're on series 1924 now. Yeah, so many. Meredith Grey is still in the show.
I don't even know who that is.
The main character. So much death. So much death. I've seen so much death. I've even seen my own.
You watch, I'll come back next week and I'm like, oh, we watched a few episodes. It's fucking shit. That's what
By the way, did they ever come back from that Judas Priest concert a year ago? Because they took all their fucking suit.
No, do not start this fucking soup again.
I was starving for some chicken and mushroom soup. Ties in. Funnily enough, I saw Ozzy once do 2 more shows of a farewell tour, and you're like, dude, just give it up, man.
No.
Why? Just do a video online or something. We can reach the masses that you don't need. Crazy.
I love him, but yes, don't. Just
this is what, you know, and fair play to the guy, but you don't need to.
Plus, it's been that long since his last show now. Everyone's fine with it.
Look at that legacy you've got.
Yeah, it's fine. Just leave it, Oz. We love you. It's fine.
I saw the T-Pain video from doing War Pigs, and I was like, Jesus, this is great.
Fucking smashed it.
I was like, that's so good. I don't even like Black Sabbath, but this is fantastic.
Even Ozzy came out and was like, this is the best cover of War Pigs ever. Like, what a fucking endorsement for a start, but Jesus.
Yeah. He's got some pipes. He's got some pipes on him, that boy.
I only know him from that Lonely Island song, so I need to know nothing about him.
Which one?
I'm on a boat.
He's in that one, is he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Akon's and I Just Had Sex, isn't he?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Lonely Island, that was definitely a phase of it.
Yeah,
I don't think
happened to
does
that?
Anybody listen to them now? I don't think anybody listens to them now, do they?
Every now and again I'll listen to a song, but every now and again.
Yeah, it's like the parody thing. It had its moment and now it's not a thing anymore type thing.
Yeah. They were huge and then they just sort of went, bye.
Yeah. Well, there we are then.
But anyway, what have you been up to, my friend? What have you been up to?
You been watching anything else?
No, that's it, really.
Okay. I've been packing. I've been Rihanna-ing. And I've started Blacklist again. So that's made me really, really happy. I'm on season 6, episode 5. So I've watched 4 episodes and I'm just loving it. Straight away, I was like, oh, I love this show. It just makes me so happy. Just James Spader, just every time, he's just so great. I love season 10's the last ever series, and I think it's on TV right now. So I was like, well, I kind of want to just like get it done. I'm halfway through. I might as well. They announced 10's gonna be the last one because I think Megan Boone, who plays Elizabeth Keane, the main character, she dropped out in season 8, I think. So I'm waiting for her to die in season 8. So I love that show. I've been watching Walking Dead. I am almost on the final season, so I'm like, I've made it. Because I saw a post someone put up, and it was like, I don't care about anything else, but what series of The Walking Dead did you give up on?
I saw that.
Yeah. And I was like, I never gave up. I took a break, but I'm on series 10, episode 16. So there's 22 in 10, and then there's obviously season 11. So, but I think the COVID episodes are season 11, where it's like singular people on their own doing like backstories and stuff. So I'm not looking forward to that. Those episodes are like snore fest. Where they do like the whole back in the day when I was on my own, and like, oh, I don't care.
Yeah, no, I don't get the obsession with flashback episodes. Every now and again, but no, not all the time.
Yeah. So I'm smashing through Walking Dead, the Blacklist, and the Orville. I'm on episode 9. I've got 2 left. And I'm like, can I just get through this? But we'll see.
I love the fact you're not even enjoying it, but you're still watching it.
Just because I can see, I've seen it, I guess. So, because I love the first 2 series.
Yeah.
And now the 3rd series has been like, there's been moments where I've laughed, but not been as funny as the first 2.
It's not comedy, is it? The 3rd series is like they went, do you know what? Let's just be Star Trek.
And this was be diverse. Let's talk about all things that are currently going on in the world right now and be diverse.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just a complete tonal shift. Didn't they change the name as well? Isn't it something else? Isn't it Orville something?
Oh, New Horizons.
That's it.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. And I've been watching a couple of bit of Simpsons, like just some like just stuff to like crack on with my work.
Yeah.
But obviously it's the Royal Rumble this weekend.
It is, and
I'm very excited for that. The episode Raw and SmackDown is so fucking boring now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I watched. I haven't seen last night's Raw. That's it. But like SmackDown was a slog. I was like, oh my god, I just can't be bothered.
It's just too long.
It's coming to Netflix now, WWE.
Yes, I was going to say, have you seen it's coming in
2025?
2025, like announced it a year in advance, but there we are.
I imagine TNT have got or Discovery, whoever got it over here, they've only got it till then. But I wonder if it's going to be able to watch after, because I'm not staying up to 1 a.m. to watch it live.
Imagine so.
I hope so. It's probably going to be one of those things, as much as I love AEW, but being a massive wrestling fan is, as much as it bores me to shit, I'll never stop watching it because I'll always want to know what's going on. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things that I just can't. I'll watch it till I die, probably.
Yeah, I'll always, even if I don't watch it, because I don't watch it very often, but every day I check the results. I read what's been happening. First thing I do is like go on the wrestling pages and see what's been going on. It's force of habit. I'll need to know.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll talk about it next week. But I just don't want Punk to win it, but I think he's going to. And I've also got a horrible feeling. I think Seth's out injured for like a year. So, but I haven't seen last night yet. It said I saw a story say he's tore his MCL. He's out for 9 months, and I saw like the coming up this Monday, and it's like this, and then right at the end it went and Seth and talks about his future, and I was like, he's out then.
I am saying nothing.
So it's kind of gutting, but we'll see. Well, I'm literally, it's what I'm doing after this. So anyway, I've waffled on enough. So yeah, just re-entering, and that's about it really. Marvel wise, I think I've watched Guardians. I haven't seen Loki season 2. I haven't watched Echo yet. The Marvels is coming in February, so I'll get around to them at some point, I think. But it's just one of those. As soon as people start going, you should watch this, I'm like, maybe. We'll see.
I need to use reverse psychology on this. Tom, don't watch it. I think I will actually. Fuck you.
Full Contact starts on Netflix tomorrow, but I ain't got Netflix. So yeah, it's the Six Nations documentary. They were in the camps of all 6 countries for the Six Nations this year just gone. And so obviously I want to watch that for Scotland, and just because I'm intrigued. I bet it's great. So really looking forward to that. So yeah, other than that, my friends, that's literally about it.
Oh, we're all caught up.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Braden from Say We Can Fly. Just letting you know, got a brand new merch store out there.
Please let me say the link. Let me say the link, please.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yes, you can say the link. Yes, all right.
Okay.
So the link for the shop.
So the link for the shop is www.saywecanfly.shop.
All right, good job, Seamus. So www.saywecanfly.shop. 10% off if you use the code.
Let me say the code. Let me say the code, please.
Okay, fine. You can say the code. If you use the code.
The code is The Chronicles.
What? No, it's not.
The Chronicles.
No, it's not. It's The Chronicles, Seamus.
Yeah, that's what I said.
The Chronicles at checkout, all right? You get 10% off.
10% off?
Yes, they know, Seamus. Okay?
I'm just trying to help, all right?
Visit www.saywecanfly.shop and use code The Chronicles for 10% off your order. Available at participating Say We Can Fly restaurants and web stores. Some restrictions may apply, but probably not.
And now it's time for your favorite segment of the week.
Yeah, it is.
Self-Callum's Treachings.
Do you want to know something? Callum will be able to tell you in Callum's Treachings.
Is cereal soup?
Ooh.
Hello, this week's Treachings come from the set of my own podcast, That Gym Couple Podcast, that I host with my partner Lucy, where we discuss all things gyms, fitness, gym anxiety, and a bunch of other stuff in between. If you do have the opportunity to come and check us out at That Gym Couple Podcast on Spotify and YouTube, we'd very much appreciate it.
Jamie, Callum is back once again. Treat the nation, the world, and the universe. It sounds like a shit superhero. Anyway, what is Callum treating us by, might I add, this week?
There's more people who wake up at the same second every day than there are that fall asleep.
Ooh.
That's really good. The thing is, right, I struggle to fall asleep. So there's either nights where I go, God, I'm knackered, Bob, gone. And there's nights where I go, I'm yawning. You know, you're like, I'm quite tired, I might go to bed actually. And you go to bed and you're like, oh, everything's going on in my head right now. This is awesome. And he starts singing a song you haven't listened to in years. He starts going like, ooh, just a little bit, ooh, And like, I don't listen to Gina G. Where the fuck's this come from? And then it's just like, and then you start going, so who actually wrote the Bible? Where are they from? Where is Bethlehem? What's going on over here? Like, why is that floating through my eyeballs, but it's actually not existing? And that sort of thing. It's just like nuts. Do you ever have that? I have that loads.
I'll be honest, that is not something I've ever struggled with. I can get into bed, not even feel tired, and I'll fall asleep.
You're fucking narcolepsy. You sleep anywhere.
I used to be a lot worse than I am now, yeah. But, well, saying that this week, I'll fall asleep at any drop of a hat. I've been dozing off all times. I'm just knackered. But
I'm so fucking jealous. Yeah, yesterday, I watched Walking Dead till I think it was about 1:45 in the morning. I fell asleep at 2:30. Like, fuck's sake. I don't know what it is, because I started thinking about those random things. Is lychee really a fruit? You know, about shit that you don't really give a fuck about. Why is it called dragon fruit? There's no dragons that exist. You know, just shit like that. And you're like, fucking hell.
It needs to sort of distract you, but relax you at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's right, though, because obviously everyone goes to bed round about the same time. And everyone goes and nods. No, gets up at the same time, sorry. Yeah. That's what I meant. It was like, I'll get it for 8. Could you imagine if like every alarm went off at the same time? Like, nah. Like, fucking hell.
Everyone's in the whole street just went off at the same time.
Yeah, oh my God. But like a massive like thunder. I was about to say thunderquake. Am I all right?
I don't think so.
Okay. It's just Earth. I was going to say thunderstorm, like, you know, like lightning strikes really fucking loudly, that sort of thing. Like, or there's a fireworks go off at once. Like, bloody hell, I'm awake. Because I haven't got Alexa anymore, so I'm using my own phone for alarms now. Oh my, you should have seen me this morning. Especially after I left all the brown stain down the side of the bed. No, I didn't. I didn't leave any brown stains. But it was so loud that I literally was like, "We are up!" I was like, "Oh my God, what the hell happened?" It was like I'd just fallen asleep. I hate those nights where you feel like you've just crashed out, but it's actually like 9 a.m. and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've had those. Yeah.
So weird, man. It's so weird. Don't you find it mental that like we have to shut down for a bit? I better just like stop moving and doing anything for a while. I need to recharge.
That's what's always made me laugh about sleep. Like everyone's like, you have to live life to the fullest. Ugh. But 8 of those hours every day, waste them by turning off. Like, am I living life to the fullest if I'm turning off for almost half a day?
It's crazy. It's like 8 hours sleep, 8 hours work, 8 hours party time.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not enough, in my opinion. Doing that 4 or 5 times a week is like, fuck me.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that wasn't funny in any way, shape, or form, was it? Should we move on?
It wasn't, was it? But to go back to the original Treach, he's absolutely right, because a lot of people do get up at the same time every day for alarms, but not everyone gets the same amount of sleep. So, yeah, that does work out. Yeah.
The smaller you are, the more sleep you need. So it's like, you need to get this baby to fucking sleep. I guess I know I do. I know. I'm fully aware.
I'll try.
Anyway, what else, Jamie, is Callum Treaching us this week?
It's possible to accidentally make human life, but it's not possible to accidentally make pizza.
It's not where I saw that going.
Oh my God. Could you imagine if you accidentally made pizza? That'd be unbelievable.
That'd be incredible. That'd be the greatest power ever.
Yeah, it'd be so good. What do you want for dinner tonight, love? There you go. What do you do? Click my fingers. Why? Go look in the oven. You're fucking welcome. I'm not touching your oven. Put it that way.
I genuinely expected to be like, you can accidentally make life, but you can't exactly take a life. I was expecting something like that, but no, make pizza.
Oh, it'd be unbelievable just to make pizza with all the hot dog stuffed crust going. Iceland have really taken off the mark there. Fucking love that shit. But I would love to be able to accidentally make pizza. Yeah, like how would you? It's kind of like a comedy of errors, hasn't it? It says like you kind of gotta like have the dough and accidentally knead it all at the same time as the starter tomato paste into the air with the shredded cheese and the pepperoni and stuff like that, and it just like falls into the oven.
It's a trip over a bag of ingredients.
That's how you accidentally make pizza.
Yeah.
You know, like in Tom and Jerry, where like someone had, or some cartoon where they're carrying shopping bags and then they like trip over a foot or trip over something and all the shopping goes flying in the air and then it all like piles up as a sandwich.
Yes!
Like that's how you accidentally make food. It's like, you want to do, fuck! And like somehow all the packaging is gone. So all the food's come out of its packaging somehow in the air and it all landed perfectly. Buttered, mayo, a lot. They're like, what the? All right.
That's the best thing about cartoon. There's just no fucking logic. It makes any sense, but we love it.
No, it's great. But yeah, hopefully there'll be absolutely no accidental human life making. Any
fingers crossed.
Ever. Yeah, ever. But I'd love I'm kind of want to like Professor Frink this now and try and work out how to make an accidental pizza. That'd be fucking cool.
Other than what we just came up with, I can't think of any other way. But even then, that's going to be hard to do.
It'll just be cartoon-like. I'll just draw it. See, I made accidental pizza. Watch my cartoon. And finally, Jamie, what else is Callum teaching us this week?
We're very lucky that there's no birds of prey that hunt humans.
Oh, dude. Fuck that shit.
That's one of those ones where I always wonder to myself, where was he and what had just happened for him to think of that?
He might just like, fucking hell, Dave, do you know what? Fancy a bit of meat today. Fancy a bit of fucking human, not rats or voles or that bullshit or shrews. No, fuck it. I want me a bit of child. So let's have a look. What we got here? What we fucking got here? Oh, there we go. So you know, to go like shopping, you go. I was like, love, look, it's like a shit version of zombie apocalypse. Love, we've run out of milk. And we need it. Shit, what should we do? Should we pay for the underground courier or should we bolt it? Can you imagine the most overrun by like birds of prey, hawks and eagles and falcons? They're all like gang members in the air, like in their own nests in different parts of the country and stuff.
The idea of humans having an underground tunnel system to avoid birds.
Yeah. Shit!
I need to put my trolley back in the station outside in the car park. Fuck, run, Sheila, run!
We made it, we're safe.
I needed that fucking pound back.
You can hear like you're in Asda, you hear. Ding, ling, ling, ling. You're like, oh shit. Yeah. Hi. But obviously forgetting that shelves don't hit the roof and they can just fly over the top.
Oh.
So it'll just be a case of like, there's got to be like a shit film of this. It'd be great.
This sounds like a shit film that needs to be made. We've got Flamingo Star Wars.
Yeah.
We've got Birds of Prey against humans. We're making all the B movies this week.
It could be called Birds, Your Prey.
Oh, that's good. That is good. Copyright Tom Stevens.
Yeah. That'd be sick as fuck. And every human they eat, they like get like even bigger to turn like to human birds. But, oi, monkey boy, give us a fucking shit. That's could you imagine seagulls? I imagine would be like beefcakes. They'd be like, "Oh, you fuck corner, mate. You want to fucking go, yeah? You want to fucking go, yeah? Outside, mate. We are outside, Dave. Fuck, shut up, mate. Shut up. Yeah. All right. I'm a bit simple. You're a bit fucking simple, yeah? Yeah. Just I was down pub with Sheila yesterday. Fucking, birds that shit head bob, don't they?
Head bobbing is killing me off.
And pigeons would be like scientists because they're small and weedy and like they'll plot things that way.
But the size of the giant pigeon shits, if they were big enough to carry off humans, would be fucked.
It's how they catch you. Oh shit! Literally. Caught like Spider-Man's web. Fucking hell, not again.
Oh.
Quick, fucking coming. I don't know what to do. What do you do? It looks like ectoplasm. Anyway, Callum, that was great. That was fucking super great. Absolutely. That last one was fucking genius. We love it. But Jamie, there's a massive problem.
Oh, there is.
I got to follow it.
You do. I'm sure you can do it.
Time for Tom's Journal. And welcome to another edition of Tom's Journal. Welcome to another edition of Tom's Journal. Today, Jamie, I learned what antipasta is. I'd heard the word before, but I didn't know what it meant. Before the meal. I always thought it was like the opposite of pasta, like evil pasta. Pasta from a dark, inverted universe. Nega pasta.
I worked at a deli for years and we sold it. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I've never heard it. Never thought I could just Google it, but no. But
before the meal, Jay.
Before the meal. There we know. What was it, evil pasta?
I'm annoyed at myself because this entry was meant to be for New Year, but never mind.
There we are.
Anyway, we were still in January. It's January 4562. So, my neighbours with the fireworks would like to wish everybody a happy 8:42 p.m. Why do people do that? When they've got fireworks for New Year, they're like, oh my God, it's going to be amazing. And then they go off at like 7:30 at night. You're like, what are you doing?
Because they are dickheads. That is the simple answer to this. Same way, oh, we'll buy some fireworks for bonfire night, but we'll set them off 3 days early.
And then for a week after.
Yeah.
Don't get it.
Dickheads.
Yeah, stop saying them, is what I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Jamie, I couldn't work at McDonald's. I couldn't work. I'd be walking around with nuggets in my pocket, snacking all day.
2 for the box, 1 for me. 2 for the box, 1 for me.
I think somebody used to put, when I used to work at McDonald's, I would always put an extra nug in for everyone. I always did 11 pack or something.
Amazing.
I think that's fucking great. But if I was getting eaten by a bear, I'd definitely get a pet in real quick. Oh, lovely.
Oh, you're so soft. That's when you find out that's how you stop a bear attack. Just give it some love.
It probably loves it. It probably thinks it's playing and then just kills you, like cats. Like cats do with smaller things. Do you know what, Jamie? Right, I have never come back from any holiday feeling relaxed, refreshed, and invigorated to get back into work. I come back with the taste of freedom still fresh in my mouth, a renewed hatred for work, and a strong suspicion that this is not what I should be doing, spending my life doing.
That always makes me laugh because I was like, oh, you'll feel so much better after a holiday. I feel worse after a holiday because I'm like, that could be my life. But no.
I feel better on holiday.
Yes. Exactly. And then about halfway through the holiday, you start to feel like shit when you realise you've got to go home in a couple of days. You're like, oh, I'm just going to drink now.
On that topic, going back to work after a break involves a few days of waiting to get back into the swing of things. Then, eventually you remember you were never in the swing of things, even before the break. There is no swing of things. The things remained unswinged.
It's so true. Like, I'm going to take it easy today. It's my first day back. I'm just going to ease myself in.
I love that as such a British thing to do. We always give excuses for anything and everything we can when we just come back. You know.
Same way before you go on holiday. It's like, it's last day before holiday. I ain't doing nothing today.
Yeah, don't give a fucking shit about it.
That's always the worst day of your week. Every time.
The first day back after a holiday is always the longest day of your life as well. But I hope that when I inevitably choke to death on gummy bears, people just say I was killed by bears and leave it at that.
As your podcast partner and best friend, I vow I will do that for you, sir.
Thank you so much. When I was in Colorado in 2018, my friend was taking me up the mountains. We were walking up, and she went, "Just be careful because there's like wolves and mountain bears up here." And I went, "Cool. So where's the car?" Because I don't want to walk anymore.
I wouldn't either.
I'd quite like to go if that's okay with you.
I'm from England, where the most scariest thing is a pigeon. I'm off.
I'm from Scotland, where the most scariest thing is a cow. So, yeah. Therapist. Look, you need to stop doing weird things, Tom. All right? Going out might help. Me. I actually went to the park today. Therapist. Oh, there you go. I hope you got something from that. Me opens the coat. Yeah, there's duck.
Where I saw that going.
Oh. Copywriter at Taco Bell. So, you are familiar with the Hamburglar, yes? Taco Bell executive. Oh, of course. Copywriter. Introducing the Chalubra Cabra. Taco Bell exec. I'm going to kiss you on the mouth.
Where the fuck do you find these things?
I don't know. I went to see a fortune teller, right? Don't believe this shit. But the fortune teller was like, you will die alone in excruciating pain. Me, all alone? Fortune teller, yes, in excruciating pain. Me, so the whole house to myself, yeah? Oh, I love that one so much. Oh, somebody on Twitter thought this would be a great little back and forth to have. McDonald's has the best Coke, let's argue. Someone then chimes in, I think you'd find Mexico has the best Coke, let's argue. Colombia has entered the chat.
I was expecting you to be like, no, it's those glass bottles, not, no, let's go straight for cocaine.
Yeah. Oh. Licks finger and lifts the wind. Yep, a panic attack is coming.
As much as I wouldn't wish a panic attack on anyone, but if they were to announce it by doing that, fucking bravo. That'd be great.
It'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Right, I'll give you a couple more. The A in my name stands for angel sent from heaven. I mean, I'm pretty sure it stands for anger issues, but all right. Couple more. The last one's gold. The last one is fucking gold. Text message conversation. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm watching a movie. Oh, sweet. What's it called? Killer Sharks. Oh, what's it about? It's about a horse that wants to be a singer. The fuck do you think it's about?
What's worried is my mind going, if there's a film about a horse that wants to be a singer, I really want to watch that. So
it's called fucking Killer Sharks. Of course it's about Killer Sharks, you fucking moron.
You could tell that is some like lonely guy trying to like talk to a girl like, so what's it about you doing?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. They just started dating or something.
Yeah.
Jamie Westwood, this is going to be one of my favourite journal entries I think I've ever had. Massive shout out to Jess Ward for this, former guest, because this was one of my favourite things I've ever read. This is about to blow your mind because I was like, holy fucking shit. Nobody. So what's your favourite paradox? Me. If you ask Rick Astley for his copy of the movie Up, he cannot give it to you, as he will never give you up. However, in doing so, he lets you down, thus creating the Astley paradox.
Shit. There's no way to win in this situation.
Nope. How fucking amazing is that?
That is incredible.
That's so good.
I really want someone to ask him what he'd do in this situation now.
We need him on the show.
Yes. To be fair, I have tried before. We never heard anything back. But
just for that reason,
I'm going to try again.
We need to find out if he'd give you his copy of the movie Up.
Or put it in the email saying we need to discuss the Rick Astley paradox, and just be like, I've been waiting to discuss this.
He probably has no fucking clue, or goes, you guys are mental. No. But that was another edition of Tom's Journal.
No stupid entries this week.
Was there not?
No.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I'm
That's
quite
the
surprised.
first time in a long time.
I know. I
That
think
was
because
fucking glorious.
all this. Thank you very much, mate. All the stupid shit comes out of Christmas, clearly.
So,
because that was all my New Year shit there. So, no, decent. I'm happy with that.
but now I just want to watch a film about a horse wanting to learn to sing.
I knew you would. I thought you want Flamingo Star Wars more, to be quite honest with you.
To be fair, fuck it, let's make a trilogy.
Yeah.
It's all intertwined them all into one terrible film.
Birds, your prey.
It's about getting into schools and talking to young people because, you know, I know that people can change. And it's about talking to people and getting them to understand and perhaps step back from violence and prejudice and whatever. And we just need to work together and keep on the good fight there.
Absolutely. Hey there, guys. We are ecstatically happy to announce that we are associated with the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.
The times are changing, and with the unfortunate death of Sophie, those changes have made a massive impact for the future. If Sophie was with us still today, I can guarantee what you are doing will still be reaching so many lives of young teenagers, young adults, and those who wish to be as different as possible. So thank you very much.
To find out more about this incredible foundation and all the work they do, and more importantly, how you can help, head on over to www.sophielancasterfoundation.com. Mr. Mama Mama, Mr. Mama Mama, Mr. Mama Mama, Mr. Stevens.
Nice. Nice, Jamie. I love it. I actually had to clear my throat there. I wasn't doing that for effect. Jamie, 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 Jamie.
It's audience participation time.
Participate, bitch. For the very last time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to participate in Jamie's participation challenge. It took me till you were almost done with the first one to click on what that song was. I was like, I know this. What is it?
What is it?
It's Alive by POD. I finally got it.
I also did a shit version to begin with.
It just wasn't clicking. I was like, I know this. What is it? Anyway, this week I said, you know what? We love our listeners, so we want to learn more about them. This week we are asking, what is a fun fact you could tell us about yourself? What say you, Mr. Stephen? Do you have any fun facts?
Not really. I took Michael McIntyre to his car once. That's something that happened in 2008.
Yes.
Before he became 2008. Yeah, it was 2008. I can't think of it. I don't think there's anything fun about me, to be honest.
Every fun fact about myself, I thought I was like, no, I've already told that on the show. I've told that on the show. I've told that on the show. I don't think there's anything about me these lot don't know now.
Yeah. No, I can't think of anything. I generally can't. Mind you, I should have I can't even speak English. That's where he goes. One for you. I should have prepared, is what I was going to say. I should have prepared for that part.
Yeah, I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't think of anything. I was like, Big Mac in layers, we've discussed that. Pictures of Jet in his sock, we've discussed that. I was like, yeah, pretty much covered everything. Let's get some audience answers because we got some fucking great ones for this.
Well, you got some great ones, yeah.
Lydia Manson, former guest, friend of the show. I won 3rd place in an applesauce wrestling contest. I even got a trophy. America. What is that thing? Applesauce wrestling. I mean, it sounds great, then. Stacey Morris says, I used to be able to burp the alphabet.
Why do people think that's a cool thing to do? I don't get it. Just say it normally. Oh, do you know your ABCs? Well, to be honest with you, mate, only if I burp them. I don't know if but I need to burp them to know what it is. What's the 50th letter of the alphabet? Hang on.
That's what bothers me about it, because people do that weird, retchy, horrible sound before each letter. It's like, I just like the fact it's used to be able to. But how is that a skill you can lose? Come on, Stacey, practice. You can get there again. Jerry
I love
King.
the idea of it rocking up on fucking Britain's Got Talent.
Simon Cowell's just, please stop. Please, for the love of fuck, stop.
I think someone's actually done that. Anyway, carry on.
Wouldn't surprise me. Jerry Keane. I've met several celebrities. I've met Les Dennis, Tony Iommi, Clint Eastwood, and Robin Williams. Oh, he's met some amazing people as our Jerry Keane.
Clint Eastwood's cool.
Clint Eastwood's very cool.
Yeah, but Robin, obviously.
No. That's why I saved that until last. Joe Smith. I've met the king, and he praised me up for homeschooling our kids. Which is pretty fucking cool. I like that. He wasn't king at the time. Ruby Goodwin. I talk to myself while I'm sat in the toilet. Thanks for sharing.
That's actually phenomenal.
I just want to hear what that conversation's like.
I can respect that massively. I really can. Like, fair fucking play. I play games and talk to myself when I'm on the But, like, I love that. I love the idea of, oh, it's taking a while. Oh, Jesus, it feels like it's going to be hefty. I might go to Morrison's later and get myself some melon. Yeah. Fancy a honeydew. Yep. Oh, it does.
Is it a running commentary like that, or is it like a fairly good day today? It's been all right, isn't it? Yeah, we've got a lot done today. It's like, what sort of conversations?
I should have a burger for dinner.
Becky Westwood. I talk to animals like I'm a real Disney princess, as if they're going to talk back to me. They don't. Yeah, she does talk to animals. No, they don't answer back.
What would you do if that actually fucking, if your rabbit just went, right? Sorry, what the fuck? I better put this weed away. Jesus Christ.
I have always wondered what animals think when humans just start talking to them. Do they understand? Or they're just like, what are you saying? Like, we don't understand them. So, yeah, weird. David Richards. This is a fact that I told him about himself about 15, 20 years ago. I look like Brodus Clay. He does look just like Brodus Clay. Nina Hewitson. I have a black belt in Aikido. Fair play.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Remind me not to fuck with you, Nina. Graham Arnold. This blew my tiny fucking mind. I've been in an arm wrestling contest with Arnold Schwarzenegger at a Comic-Con. It was a draw, but I think he might have been being kind to me. I think he might have been, yeah. Wow. And I once had a staring contest with Patrick Stewart, and strangely, I got a headache after it. Okay. What? Apparently,
go on.
I was going to say, apparently that was at a red carpet premiere in Leicester Square for X-Men 2. Like, how?
I mean, Patrick Stewart is an absolute legend of the highest order.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I probably would have had a conversation with him. But still, you know, that's cool.
I can see that's how it happened, though. He saw him and was like, I'm going to talk to him. Just couldn't speak. I mean, I get it. Lloyd James. I once did a poo on a display toilet at B&Q. I was 3 or 4 at the time in their shop with my mum and dad. Yes, at the same
I was waiting for that. Like, what do you mean? As in Jackass style, or were you a child?
A member of staff suddenly came running up to my dad shouting, "Is this your son? He's sat on one of our display toilets." Fucking brilliant. Lisa Clemens. 7 is my number. I was born in 1967, 7 years after my sister. I've had 7 addresses. I've got married 7 years after meeting my husband, and we had our first child 7 years after that. She likes to do things in 7s, apparently. I like it. Helen Barrett. I saved singer Howard Jones from catching fire on stage in 1982. That is so fucking cool. Which, weird enough, I was talking to Becky's dad about Howard Jones last week because he sang about going to see him in concert. He was shit.
Who is he?
He's just an old singer. I don't know anything about him. I couldn't tell you anything. But Helen actually attached a picture from a book of his talking all about this actually happening. It's absolutely amazing. I'll put it on the screen. It's absolutely awesome. Like, fair play. That's a claim. I like it. Oh. Now there's 3 here that I want to put at the end, and I'm really struggling to choose an order. So I'm going to go with Paulie Dobson first. I've exposed myself from lightning from the gladiators at her own behest. 100% true. I met her in a nightclub in London many years ago, and she wanted to know if I had any other piercings. And I couldn't just tell her because she said she actually wanted to see it. So I showed her.
Okay. I mean, I was having a conversation about Prince Albert's earlier, and it made me feel quite ill.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Because the idea of it just makes me... I'm feeling a bit weird now thinking about it. That's also... Is that awesome or is that weird? I think that's actually kind of... I think that's kind of... She asked. So consent was there. She asked. So that's awesome. Like someone went, can I see your cock?
Later.
Why not?
I mean, if Lightning from the Gladiators asks you, who are you to say no? Like, come on. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. What fucking claim. That really made me laugh. 2 more for you. Mally Malpass. I have 2 brothers named Jason. My grandparents were first cousins. I won the under-12s Umbongo Limbo competitions at Butlins when I was 9.
Phenomenal.
I like how I love how he's broken them up like in different levels. My father married my auntie, so my cousin became my sister, and my aunt became my mum.
What the fuck?
Oh, and also I have a black belt in kickboxing, so let's not challenge him on any of this because he'll kick the shit out of us. We love you, Ali. And last but not least, because it's just fucking glorious.
It's my dad, isn't it?
It's Tom Stevens' dad, Darren Stevens. I'm from Yorkshire with a thick Sheffield accent. I'm not a Deedar, as most people portray like my... Fuck, I can't speak. As most portray people like myself. However, I fully endorse the sketch-type portrayal of people from my local, as I find it extremely funny. My fun fact is that my son takes the piss out of me and folk like me. Every fucking week, Darren. Every week.
Yeah, it's true. It is the best accent, though.
It is a great accent.
It can't be helped.
I don't think I appreciated it enough until we did this show, and I just realised just how fucking good it is.
It is great. I think it was voted great best accent in the UK.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it's up there, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's...
Sexiest then, is it?
By 1,000 Americans. It's got nearly 7 billion people in it. Yeah.
I'm taking it. I don't care.
I thought you got to grab onto whatever you can at this kind of point in time.
Fucking right.
We haven't got a lot, mate. I've been talking since fucking Sunday. That was about 4 weeks ago. Oh. Anyway, thank you to absolutely everyone that participated in Jamie's challenge this week. It was graciously appreciated, and we always thoroughly enjoy. So thank you so much. But of course, if you enjoy the Chronicles of Podcast, if you listen on the weekly, don't forget we've got 116 other editions that are available for you to go and check out. We are all over social media at TCO Pod, whatever social media platform, we're on it. Chronicles of Podcast or TCO Pod. And obviously the main one, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Chronicles of Podcast. Hit the bell to get notified when new videos are released and comment to your heart's content. So let me recap real quick. All social media at TCO Pod and the YouTube at the Chronicles of Podcast is where you can find us.
Wonderful. Before we get out of here, let's say a massive thank you to a few of our friends. Every single piece of music you've heard on this show today is brought to you by one man, Mr. Matt Roberts. Follow him on all social medias at Matt Roberts Music. Tell him we sent you. And of course, we have to say a massive thank you to Mr. Braden Barry and his saywecanfly.shop. Head on over to saywecanfly.shop. Have a look at that beautiful apparel, those albums, those signed photos, whatever you like the look of. Add it to your basket, enter that discount code, The Chronicles, and get 10% off your order. And of course, last but not least, a massive thank you to our friends at the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. They're stamping out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. If you're not familiar with Sophie's story, go check it out now. Follow them on all social medias and find out what you can do to help this fantastic cause. And last but not least, a massive thank you to this handsome bugger right here.
Me again? You spoil me twice in one show. Jamie Westwood. Another absolutely unbelievable show in the bag, Jay.
Indeed. Absolutely wonderful.
Dustin, thank you so much for spending the time with us. We graciously appreciate it. It was great chatting to you. But as for this week, we'll see you all next week for the Chronicles of William Morgan.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.